Hello folks, Sid Miramontes here with Miramontes Capital's weekly market update. This week in news we have Tesla reporting their earnings estimates, which they beat their estimates. We also have our considerations again for interest rates out there. So we're continuing to monitor what's happening with interest rates for the end of this year and early part of next. Also we have what's going on with election coming up. So we'll see how that has volatility effects on the market. So we're keeping a close eye on all of these three latest figures, folks, as far as what's happening on the earnings estimates for companies. They're going to have the busiest earnings week that we've had in a long time coming up. So obviously you want to keep an eye out on the election and obviously what's happening out there with interest rates. Folks, this question that comes from one of our folks, Robert over at Verizon, he asked a question about, hey Sid, what happens if I want to invest in real estate outside of my investment portfolio? What happens if I want to buy an apartment building or a home and I want to rent it out? Well, folks, I don't think investing outside the markets is a bad thing. I myself invest in real estate as well outside of my own investment portfolio. So I understand what you're going through when you're looking at investing outside and hey, is it a good investment? And I would say yes, it is, but you also want to take into account, if you're investing on the outside, really what that means to you and who you're going to hire to take care of that real estate or how much time you're willing to spend on that. So for example, obviously buying a $500,000 piece of property and renting it out and receiving $2,500 a month in rent sounds like a good deal. But okay, make sure that you consider talking to your CPA and tax person how that will affect you if you're going to pull the capital from your retirement account or if you're pulling capital from another place. So you want to definitely talk to your CPA or tax person, number one. Number two, you want to take in consideration is how much vacancy am I going to have? Well, what happens if somebody moves out after living there only 6-month period of time? What happens then? How am I going to account for that? What happens in normal expenses that I might happen to have in the toilet breaking or the carpet having to be replaced, etc. And then you also want to consider how much time am I willing to dedicate to this. Granted, you may be a pre-retiree or a retiree, but you also want to consider how much time am I willing to spend on managing this piece of real estate. I don't consider that to be a bad investment. It's a good investment. But you have to consider all these factors. Or is it more beneficial for me to just take my capital and invest in real estate and having a manager through my investment portfolio managing? And would that be easier for me? Would I rather do that and have interest in real estate that way? So you have to consider both, folks, and you have to consider if it's worth your while and time and effort that you spend on that. But I don't think real estate's a bad investment. You have to make sure it's right for you. We have to talk about it for your particular case, because in some cases it works out well, and other cases might not be what you want to do. Either way, folks, with those and any other questions on investments, we look forward to your questions or calls. Please take a look at our YouTube site and take a look at our website and see what seminars and workshops that we have coming up for you. Thanks so much for your time.